Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to play some Minecraft. Not really, I don't know why I said that. So a few days ago I asked you guys to send me all of your questions regarding Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. We got a number of different questions, some were really popular ones and common ones and some were not so popular. So without wasting any time, let's just start off with the most popular question.
If this is supposed to tell Goku's story, then why didn't they add OG Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super? Goku's story and journey didn't start and end with Z.
This is one of the most popular questions regarding this game that has been asked since its announcement. The simple answer to this question is that it simply doesn't work with the vision and the scope of this game. Before a game's development, there is actually a stage where the developer CyberConnect2 and the publisher Bandai Namco have to come up with a concept for the game. It is during this stage that the publisher and developers sit down and they decide what kind of game they want to make. So they probably thought they want to make an open world RPG set in a Dragon Ball universe. It is also during this process that they have to decide which arc of Dragon Ball they are going to cover. And you see, the thing is, with a game like DBZ Kakarot, an open world RPG where you can explore the entire Dragon Ball universe, the Dragon Ball Saga and the Dragon Ball Super Saga doesn't really work too well. Think about it. One of the most important things about an open world game is exploration. In Dragon Ball Saga, what can you explore? You can explore the martial arts arena, you can explore Yamcha's hideout, some portion of different cities, and that's probably it. Dragon Ball Super actually has the same issue. Even if we count a Battle of Gods, it takes place on Earth. Then after that comes the Resurrection F Saga, which again takes place on Earth. And not just on Earth, it takes place in a similar area as the first movie. Then after that there came Champa arc and it took place on the Nameless planet. But there is literally nothing to explore there. You can't even go outside the barrier on that planet. Then after that came the Future Trunks arc, which again took place on Earth. And then after that was the final arc, which was Universe Survival arc, and it took place in the World of Void, where again there is literally nothing to explore. If the World of Void and this Tournament of Power arena was added in a game like Kakarot, you will literally explore this area in less than 5 minutes. The area is literally a void, and apart from that little stage, there is nowhere else to go. Sure, in order to increase exploration, they could add Beerus' planet in the mix, but it really wouldn't make much of a difference. Now let's compare all of this to Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z starts off at Earth with Raditz and the Saiyan Saga, so you have the Earth to explore, which is not a big deal, but then Goku dies and he goes to the other world. You can explore the other world, then you can explore the Snake Void, then you can explore King Kai's planet. Hell, you could even throw in the Hell filler in order to make it more explorable. And after that there was entire Namek to explore. What about Yardrat? We actually never saw Goku learn instant transmission on Yardrat, and if you are reading the manga, you know that Vegeta is going to visit planet Yardrat very soon. This opens the game up to an insane amount of possibilities. They could expand the lore on Yardrat and do so much more. So you see, when you compare all of these things, you might begin to understand why they decided to go with Z Saga for this game. An open world RPG game just fits perfectly with the Z universe as compared to the other two. Now you might be wondering, why not just do all three of those? Just do Dragon Ball, then Z, and then Super. We're going to get back to that question, but for now, let's move on to question number 2.
Is DLC possible for this game? Like the Dragon Ball Z movies, for instance.
We live in an age where DLCs are just part of every single game. So yes, I 100% expect this game to have DLCs. In terms of movie content, actually that would be really perfect. Imagine that there is some sort of an area in the open world that you can come across, then you can meet 1 or 2 NPCs and they introduce you to different realities or parallel universes where these movie arcs takes place. It would be perfect and it would really work well with this game. Whether those movie arcs are going to be DLC or in the base game, well, that remains to be seen. The next question says,
would you like to see Super as added DLC in the game? And if not Super, what kind of DLC do you think will be added?
Well, carrying forward to the first question, why didn't they just simply do Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super Saga in one big game? You see, the developer and the publisher is actually limited with the kind of game and content they can do in a game. Due to budget and time reasons, they have to release the game at certain point in time and they have a certain budget to work with. Keeping that budget and time in mind, they probably decided it was best to simply just do Dragon Ball Z Saga, and I agree with their decision simply because, as I explained earlier, Dragon Ball Super would not have much content in terms of an open world RPG. At first, I didn't want them to add Super DLC in this game. I simply wanted them to cover that in the next game, because guys, remember, it's about quality and not quantity. I'd rather have them cover the Z Saga properly with good quality rather than doing just a good enough version of Z and Super. However, now I realize that in Dragon Ball Super, there's not really much to do in an open world RPG game. All they gotta do is add Nameless Planet, the World of Void, which will be easy as heck, and then fill Earth and other portions with more quests related to Dragon Ball Super. Scope of Dragon Ball Super is not huge, so I don't really want to pay $60 for it. So yes, if they were to add Super Saga in this game for like a $20 DLC, that would be perfect. Now the next question
Is there anything planned for after you finish the story? Will you be able to run around and still do stuff?
in any open world game, they leave you to explore the world once you are done with the main story and the main quest. Yes, I expect them to do something similar with this game as well. Once you are done with the main story, you are probably free to select any character you want, regardless of which arc they are from, and you can simply just explore the open world and do some side quests.
Is there more than one combo animation string?
Yes, there are more than one combo string in the game, but they are still working on it. The game mechanic is not final yet. The way it works right now is that you can equip different types of moves and you can work your combos around it. So you can do like a punch, kick, and then a kamehameha. Or you can equip your character with a Kaioken attack and you can do punch, kick, Kaioken. You can also upgrade your skills, so you can upgrade your Kamehameha as you train and it gets stronger and it changes. And as for Chi-Ji, I'm not sure, but yeah, you can expect to do some side missions for her.
A friend of mine asked if the combat will be like Xenoverse.
I covered this in my previous video. The combat in DBZ Kakarot is not like Xenoverse. It may appear like that because it's in 3D, but it's really different. In my previous video, I discussed this in much detail, so I will leave a link to that video in the card above. Take a look.
Can we expect areas like the mountain region and forest to be more populated by the time the game drops? I hope it's not empty like One Piece World Seeker.
Well, yes, this is a really good point, and PCs are really important in any open world game. Luckily, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is full of NPCs, so it is not empty like One Piece World Seeker.
Do you think that driving minigame will be in a closed area or an open area?
The way driving works right now is that you get to the episode where Goku gets the driving license, and then you can drive a car whenever you want. Obviously, it is going to be fun, but it is not going to be the fast way of traveling the world. You can simply just fly over mountains instead of driving a car. But yes, the option is there.
Are we gonna be able to play as Great Saiyaman during his arc?
Well, all of these characters are quite important and they play a big part in the story, so yes, you can expect them to be playable. It won't be really difficult to do either. They have to make a model for adult Gohan for the Buu saga anyways, because he fights Majin Buu. To make Saiyaman, they have to simply just put the Saiyaman outfit on top of the Gohan model, so it's going to be really easy, and I expect them to cover this portion.
Will characters from OG Dragon Ball appear in any way, shape or form?
Yes, they will.
Will we see Oob? Because most of the time, when they get close to finishing up the Buu arc, they skip this part mostly in video games.
See, that's what I expect them to do as well. Most games really don't do this. They simply start the game at Raditz fight, then they move on to Nappa and Vegeta, then Frieza, then Android, Cell, Majin Buu, and they're done. Scenes like Oob is important for the story to feel complete if we are talking about the Z saga, so I expect them to cover it. The issue with that is, the Buu portion of the story takes place a long time after the Majin Buu saga, and in between that time, we have Dragon Ball Super. So if they cover Oob, it is going to create some issues because if they want to go back to Super Saga, how are they going to adapt that? It really depends on what their goal is with Dragon Ball Super and how they want to fit in that story in the game.
What new content are we getting in this game?
Side stories, open world, RPG elements, driving license episode, free to explore Dragon Ball universe on Nimbus, never before seen past of Ginny Force, new characters, and much more.
Will each arc reset the level of every character?
No, I don't think so. That wouldn't make any sense because the point of the level system in this game is to sort of portray that the characters are getting stronger and stronger with training, just like they do in the anime. So to reset their level after every arc just doesn't make sense.
Will you have the option to go through each Super Saiyan transformation? Like when Goku and Gohan are training in the time chamber and Goku goes through the different stages of Super Saiyan.
Yes, I think currently it is equip based, so you can equip, let's say, Kaioken and Super Saiyan. Then during a battle, you can choose which transformation you want to go with. But remember that there is still a lot of time remaining before the release of the game, so things can change if it doesn't feel right to them.
Will there be different outfit options like Yardrat Goku or Cell Saga filler Goku? And once we pass a certain saga, will that version of the character not be available for free roam anymore?
Someone actually asked this question for the producer of the game, and I think he didn't understand the question properly. So he said that you can't simply customize a character against what is happening in the story. Like you can't customize Goku and turn him into a Super Saiyan during his fight with Raditz. But that doesn't essentially mean you can't change their outfits. I expect at least some level of customization to be in the game. Yardrat Goku though, I can confirm 100% for a fact that he is in the game. You can see Goku in Yardrat clothes, but whether those clothes are available after in the later arcs for you to equip whenever you want, that is currently unknown.
Is the storyline better than Budokai 1, and does it have a lot of extra about Goku's life that isn't already known in great detail?
They do have extras, but that's not to say everything they have is extras. They sort of explore the character's life a bit more than the anime does. Goku and Gohan's relationship, for example. In the anime, you get glimpses of their relationship, but the game explores those glimpses in much more detail. For example, in the anime, you get to see Goku and Gohan arrive on Nimbus at Kame's house. In the game, you actually get to fly the Nimbus yourself, and while you are flying it, during that time, they talk with each other, so their relationship is explored a bit more in the game as compared to the anime.
Hey Ken, I just saw some of the Cell Gohan scenes and I see the lack of blood. I mean, not even blood scratches. Something like that, in my opinion, takes the severity of the impact of the fight away from the scene. Is this unfinished, or will blood just not be added?
Sadly, blood is something that's going to be a bit difficult to add. Japanese regulations are pretty clear about what they want and don't want in their media. If they add blood to the game, they can't sell that game to little kids, and a huge chunk of their profits will be gone. Without spoiling the ending of Naruto, there was actually tons of blood in that portion, and in their game, CyberConnect 2 had to sort of turn that blood into a liquid of black color. So yes, blood is going to be a tricky thing to add in this game as well.
Since this is also going to do the Buu arc, will we be able to play as Ultimate Gohan and still have the choice to play as Teen Gohan?
The way this thing works in the game right now is that you are restricted to the characters who play a part in particular saga. So if you are playing Cell Saga, for example, you get access to Super Saiyan Gohan. But if you are playing the Namek Saga, you are not going to get access to Super Saiyan Gohan. And obviously it works the other way around as well. So you cannot play as Gohan from Namek Saga in Cell Saga. However, you do have some sort of choice regarding which character you want in each saga. And who knows, after the main story is completed, maybe you can just select any character you want and explore the open world.
Do we have any news besides early 2020?
No, not right now, but I did take a look at their financial data. Financial data is basically when you see where the company profits are coming from and where they are spending it. If you know a little bit of accounting, you can sort of guess what situation a company is in, and you can sort of predict a game's release date. Keeping those things in mind, I'm going to guess that this game is going to release in April 2020. I expect to see one more trailer at least for the Buu Saga in December, and along with the trailer will also come release date. That is how I expect things to work.
Will there be mini-games or like a versus mode to pick characters and do stuff after you complete the story?
There are going to be mini-games in the game. What type though, I cannot say yet.
Anything on Master Roshi? Anything?
Well, you get to meet him pretty early on in the game, and you can visit him in his house whenever you want. He can give you a side quest or two maybe.
So any idea if they will fix the little inconsistencies like Goku not taking off his weighted clothing against Raditz? And do you think they'll have the casual driving and Cell Games outfits?
You see, this game is an authentic representation of the Dragon Ball universe, but the story adaptation is not a full copy of the anime or the manga. Sure, we will see the iconic moments from the series, but CyberConnect 2 actually has a really good and creative team of animators who prefer to do their own storyboards rather than just following anime page by page. Following the anime is actually quite easy, but CyberConnect 2 is very talented when it comes to original stuff. So if there are some changes regarding how the events play out, they are going to be good and you don't need to worry about that.
Is Toriyama's extended involvement in the game an indicator that this side stuff, like the episode with 16 and Gohan canon?
Sure, if you want to call it that, but Toriyama and Toei actually almost never used the word canon. Only Western fans who use this word. Toriyama in his entire life only talked about this topic like 2 or 3 times. First time was when he was talking about the movies, and once it was, I think, about GT. I might cover this canon topic in a different video in the future because there are quite few interesting things that we can discuss there, and lately there's been tons of discussion regarding this canon debacle.
I honestly can't wait, and I'm so hyped. I'm wondering, will there be Princess Snake area in the game when you travel on Snake Way? And will Gauss and Mez be there as well? I remember Goku falling from the Snake Way once. This will be good.
It would be a great way to expand their open world by including those portions. It would also be very smart. We almost never ever see that stuff in other Dragon Ball games, so it will be unique and a big plus if they include these things.
Is there any relationship building? Goku having chats with its friends or going on dates with Chi-Chi?
Yes, they are going to explore relationship of characters, and it is not just going to be limited to Goku. We are also getting to explore Gohan's relationship with Android 16, and then we also have the past of Uniforce, so we have tons of extra stuff.
How in-depth is the free roam as building just for eye candy, or will we be able to do special events in the city?
Special events in the cities are there. There are NPCs doing their own stuff. You can fly down to them, you can try to talk to them and see what's up. You can even maybe help them out if they are struggling with something, and in turn they can give you some items and you will level up your characters.
If you could compare this game to any non-Dragon Ball games out there, which would you say is closest to this one in terms of quality, gameplay and content?
This is a really difficult question to answer because we don't really know the entire scope of DBZ Kakarot yet. But if I have to make a decision considering all the things I know about the game and also about the development team, then I will say this game is sort of a fusion between Ultimate Ninja Storm 1 and Asura's Wrath. There are open world exploration elements added just like in Naruto Storm 1, it is just expanded to a whole another scale. And then we also have battles and action scenes like from Asura's Wrath. The funny thing is both of these two games were actually developed by CyberConnect 2.
Will the fights be more close to the anime in terms of destruction? You know how fights get super crazy and stuff just getting destroyed.
Yes, they will be. You can punch and those characters go flying and they break a cliff apart just like in the anime. And that's not all. Some parts of the environment and the map is also destructible in free roam. So you can charge up your ki and you can fly straight onto a cliff or a tree and those things will just shatter to pieces.
When you get up to the Frieza saga, will you be stuck on planet Namek or will you be free to fly around space? Perhaps visit Frieza's spaceship.
So the way this currently works is the open world is free for you to explore, but there are some limitations regarding the arc that you are doing. So if you're doing, let's say, the Frieza saga, then you cannot in middle of it just leave Namek and come back on Earth to explore that area. This would break your immersion with the story of Dragon Ball and it just wouldn't work. So they had to put in some restrictions. However, when you are on Namek or when you are on any area, you are free to explore that. It really depends on which part of the story you are at. If Frieza is at his spaceship, then if you go to his spaceship, then the story is probably going to progress. But let's say that Frieza is not at his spaceship, then you can just simply go to that area and explore around without progressing the story. You can also fly extremely high on any planet, whether you are on Namek or whether you are on Earth. And when you fly really high, you don't just go to outer space, because remember, Saiyans cannot breathe in outer space. So when you go really high on a planet, you sort of get a eagle view of the entire planet with different areas that you can visit. Then you can choose which area you want to visit and you just fly down to that.
Can you freely turn Super Saiyan while free roaming, like just transform up and down at will?
So the way this currently works is that game has two modes. One mode is the exploration mode and the second mode is battle mode. While you are in exploration mode, you have a different set of skills, such as you can sense key on a planet and see what's happening all around you. When you are in battle mode, you have a different set of skills, such as the Kamehameha, the Kaioken, and of course the Super Saiyan transformation. So I don't think you can simply transform into Super Saiyan while you are free roaming, and that's for good reason. However, remember that while you are free roaming, you can at random encounter enemies and you quickly switch to battle mode and then you can transform into Super Saiyan.
How are they gonna handle the 7-year time skip? Will there be stuff there or will they just skip it over like the original did?
I think they will cover the Pycon pillars and they will move the story to Adult Gohan, where they will cover Saiyaman and all the rest of the arc. In the Majin Buu saga, we will most probably play from Gohan's perspective for the most part, until of course Goku and Majin Vegeta's battle.
Are the fights going to continue to improve? Will there be quick time events in our fights?
Quick time events are in the game and they're actually quite prevalent in side activities. Whether they are going to include those in the cutscenes as well remains to be seen. But it is CyberConnect 2 and they did a lot of quick time events in Naruto series, so we can expect them to do something similar here as well.
And for the last question, is this gonna be sub only or will it use the dub voice actors?
The dub for this game exists. It is being worked on right now. I'm not sure, but I do think the dubbing for this game is already finished and they are working on the game mechanics right now. So that was all. These were all the questions and I hope we were able to cover all different topics of the game. If there is something you still want to know, something that we couldn't cover in this video, then leave it in the comments below. I will try to answer your questions in the comments as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you are new here, or else I'm going to delete your favorite anime game. Turn the notification bell on and I will see you next time.